I wander free. I let it be. The world's my home. It calls to
I'm so pleased to be sitting down here with Virginia. Thanks for being here. It's nice to be with you.
It's fantastic.
We're at the Living Room Bookstore for the official launch and book signing of Transformative Travel Tales. And I am really curious because I've never been to Ireland. Your chapter in this compilation book is about Ireland. What takeaways can we get from your chapter, and what do you love about Ireland?
Well, first of all, my background is Irish, and my father and my grandfather were really, like, if somebody called them French Canadian, they were upset because their heritage is Irish.
Yes.
So going to Ireland was like, for me, to look at my history, my heritage. And there were two main things that came out of that. One was that I've always wanted, whenever I was around music, I would feel like dancing and singing. And in Ireland, I soon learned that that was their way of life. You went to a pub and somebody started playing and everybody started singing and the people joined in. And one thing really stood out is when we went to a restaurant, and there was like a festival in the town, and there was a whole set of people with their instruments around this table in an alcove. And I was really enjoying the music. We're having lunch. And then this woman comes late to the party, and she's an older woman like myself. And she sits down and she gets herself, in position. She takes out her bodhrán, which is the Irish drum, and she starts drumming along. And then pretty soon a song comes on that she really likes. She puts down her bodhrán and she starts belting out the lyrics. And I was just ready to cry because I love to do that sort of thing. And then she sits down again and she's playing her bodhrán, and along comes an Irish jig. And again, she puts down her drum and she stands up and she starts to do the jig, which I would do, like Valerie, who's here with her own book. We're at a wine festival in Ontario one time, and she said, "Virginia, you have to come with me. You've got to come with me." And she took me where there was a Scotsman playing his bagpipes. And immediately I started doing a dance to that. She knew I would, and that's here in Canada. But in Canada, I mean, we're in Mexico, but that was in Canada. And that's out of place in Canada, but not in Ireland. And I felt like I'd come home.
Oh my gosh. And when you had that feeling that you'd come home, what else, what did that give you? Why was that a gift?
It gave me a feeling of knowing my heritage, because I knew my mother's family quite a lot. We have reunions every year. But my dad, I only met about 4 of his relatives. And my grandparents were dead before I was born. And so I didn't know my father's family very well. So that was fascinating to go there. And then to discover that about what was part of me, like always was a part of me, that it was the way we were in Ireland.
There's a very famous writer named Mark Wolin, and he talks about the legacies of families and inherited family trauma and what it means to go back into our family tree. And when we shake that, what comes up for us? And so he talks about having these fragmented pieces of ourselves that we don't see. And then we start to bring those pieces back together and we feel more whole. And I almost feel like that happened to you in Ireland.
It did. And it happened on another level too, because as we were getting ready for the trip, my daughters had given it to me as a Christmas present.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going off to Ireland. And a few weeks before, not that long, I mentioned that I told my son, and he said, "Oh, my daughter would love a trip like that." She was 14 then. And so I mentioned that to my daughter, Casey. Well, she's a goer, and she's like, you tell her something and it's a done deal. She goes and does it. So she made that happen. She got the mother to go fast and get a passport for Sadie and made sure everything was in place, for her to come with us. So it became went from a 2-generation trip, myself and my 2 daughters, to a 3-generation trip, grandmother, daughters, niece, and granddaughter, because that's their niece. And so we had a 4-generation trip. That was really awesome. But I'd only met Sadie once when she was 3 years old.
4 generations. I mean, that's so amazing.
Three generations.
3 generations. Okay, that's amazing. Listen, for anyone who would love to go to Ireland and is thinking, wow, man, I've always wanted to go to Ireland, read her chapter in this book. I mean, it's a beautiful chapter. And for those listening out there, can you just give us 1 or 2 words that summarize the magic of Ireland based on your chapter, based on your experience in Ireland?
I find it very laid back, countryside. Like, I know there's big cities there, but we didn't spend much time in them. And I loved being in the countryside, seeing people shearing sheep. And we went to a beach where there were precious stones. That was one of my favorite things. Or we went to the Giant's Causeway and I got to sit on one of those big hexagonal rocks. And then we went to a little country cottage because we were going from hostel to hostel every night. And we stayed in a cottage for 1 week. And that was awesome. And we met the owners, and they had lived in the same area all their lives. They were only maybe a mile from where they were born. And that was another thing I learned about Ireland, is that people don't move very far from where they were born. So it was so fascinating. And I've really done that in my life. I've been in Alberta all my life, and I have lived in a radius of maybe 100 miles.
Now, isn't that interesting what you discover when you shake the family tree? And I think you did that when you went to Ireland. And if you, if you want to live vicariously through Virginia and go to Ireland, all you have to do is read her chapter in this book and order it on Amazon. Thank you for being here with us. It's been a super pleasure to get to know you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Good luck to you. And congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Ocean whispers where the wild